Hey guys, it's Game Flunky. Hope you all are doing well, my Flunky Force. It's been a minute since I did a podcast, and I'm sorry about that. I've been busy with VidMe and YouTube, trying to grow the channels and stuff like that, and the momentum's starting to pick up piece by piece. But enough about that. Let's get into the podcast. So today's podcast, we'll be talking about, as usual, random shit. So anything that pops off the top of my head, I'll throw in. So Injustice 2, let's talk about that. I haven't had a chance to play it, but I have been watching a lot of Let's Plays and walkthroughs and hearing what the fans have been saying, and from what it sounds like, it's a big step up, which I like that. I like the story arc too. I won't go into detail, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's a really neat story arc because Injustice 2 is unique in a sense that if you ever thought about the worst possible outcome for the Justice League, far as, well for any given point, but as far as the Earth and humans and just everyone in general, the worst possible outcome, Injustice 2 hits on that. And it's unique because, I mean, there's a lot of different components to the game that kind of really stress its not only creativity, but how different it is from the first one. Because the first one, everybody knows, it involves our version of the Justice League, which is, I guess you could say, our Earth, the original Justice League, and then there's a counterpoint, there's a counter, or a alternate Justice League, where there are different events that occurred that kind of changed their reality and, you know, gave birth to the Injustice universe, right? Which I think the game did a stellar job. The only thing I think Injustice failed on, and I think Injustice 2 kind of stepped it up, was that Mortal Kombat gameplay, that whole style of fighting was not my type of thing. Somebody put it best, was, if you're going to make a Mortal Kombat style of play, make a Mortal Kombat game. But what they did was, because Mortal Kombat is known for its gore, so when you see Mortal Kombat combat, you're like, alright, he's going to rip his spine through his ass, pour salt down his throat, rip off someone's head and stick their cigar. I've seen enough of the x-rays, or whatever they call it, from Mortal Kombat to not sleep for a week. But what's unique, though, is they realized that, and I think that's one of their weaknesses, along with like story and stuff like that. With Injustice 2, they've kind of capitalized on that. It's a DC game with DC heroes, and they really, what is unique, without giving away too much spoilers, is the sort of disconnect that the heroes have with the society and themselves in general, and then the everyday struggles that they face dealing with their own mistakes and their own desires. And I think it really emphasizes that in Injustice 2. As far as the story's unique. I'm not saying it's the best story I've ever heard, but as far as a comic book video game, I think it does a stellar job. I think it really kind of sets the bar for a comic book video game. And I'll even dare to say, I'll put it in the same category or tier as Ultimate Spider-Man. Not the one that came out around Garfield when he was doing Spider-Man, but back with Tobey Maguire, they had Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, for GameCube and PlayStation 2, I think, where you travel around the whole city and stuff like that. It was open up to you. You plant your feet on the ground, run around, run past the car. So it was expansive, had a great storyline, wasn't nothing stellar, but it kept you captivated. And I think that's what DC was trying to do, NetherRealms was trying to do with Justice 2, and they did. I mean, I watched the cutscenes, I watched the combat, I love the new armor system they have. So it's, like I said before, their weakness to me was that combat. It was fun, the juggling and everything like that, but something has to keep the player involved. And this whole item system that they have that allows you collecting different pieces of armor to custom critique your own character. And I think that's unique. I think that's pretty cool. I don't see that in any other fighting game, I don't think. Maybe Tekken does it. I don't think Street Fighter does it, which is, pretty unique. I mean, that's not to say, I would like to see, I hope they do another Injustice because, well, I think they are. That's the way the story ended, because there is a good and bad, quote-unquote good and bad ending, depending on how you look at it. Well, there's an obvious, in my opinion, bad ending to this game, and a good one. And there's a lot of things to do, too. I mean, not like different modes you can play and stuff like that, like the arcade mode and stuff like that. And the character design in this game was brilliantly done. Hats off to the artists who did these character designs, stuff like that. Really big, I mean, obviously step up because it's on new generation of consoles and I think PCs as well, so obviously a step up in the right direction. But not even just that. It's just the detail of the face and the powers and things of that nature, and the revamp of the ultimates, or I don't know what they call them, but I call them ultimate moves, your finishing moves. So it really, again, big step up in the right direction. kind of want to see, like, one of the things I wanted to see, or storylines, I want to see John Stewart, but there's a reason why he's not in there. John Stewart is a U.S. Marine who became a Green Lantern. Love his story. I love him as a character. Didn't see him. Some of the characters I didn't see, but there are also a lot of characters that are in this. And there's a lot of alliances that you'll see that you wouldn't think you would see, like, in a regular Justice League kind of game. So, yeah, that's my take on Injustice. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I think NetherRealms is on the right kind of pace for this, and I think they need to keep it up, keep it going. Don't stop here. Moving on. What did I play today? Oh, so I've been testing out some new games. I might go play some. I might do the walkthrough for Darkest Dungeon. I'm debating on it. I mean, granted, the game's tough. I'm not saying it's not, and it really pushes you. But I think it's fun. It's kind of like that kind of headache that you like to have, like it pisses you off, but you're like, fuck it, let me have some fun with it. Yeah, so I might play it. Some more, I might do a walkthrough on it. As far as game, what did I play today? I think I said it right. Shroud of the Avatar. It's a sandbox, open world sandbox MMORPG. Hold on. It is created by, I can't remember. I know they got over $11 million in crowdfunding. Alright, so Shroud of the Avatar is created by the what? Portalarium. That's the name of the company. Portalarium. Right now it's in early access. 200,000 people have purchased it. They have raised they've raised about $11.5 million in crowdfunding. They have 200,000 players, or people that bought the game, or any other packs that they have. Yeah, but it's in early access. I don't know if it's in alpha early access or beta early access. I can't really be honest with you. I don't know. It's a kind of unique game because I was talking to people today, and I said it's kind of like Oblivion meets MMORPG. It has some unique concepts as well. It has a single player and a multiplayer campaign in a way, but I don't know like why it does. It's classified as an MMORPG, but I don't know why there's a disconnect between them. I don't know why there's a single player and multiplayer. That's the only thing kind of like stopped me. I didn't get really much time to check it out, but I'm gonna do a thorough. Well, actually, I did pretty much a thorough one today. I did a walkthrough of it, just a private one. I didn't want to record. I just wanted to understand the game because it is an MMORPG, and MMORPGs can be very complicated. They do have housing. You can. They have cities, housing, all that stuff. What's unique though is they kind of took a RuneScape or Ultima Online kind of approach, where you can harvest materials, things like that. The community is very in touch with the game. It's not a world just ruled by NPCs. I think players can have a bigger impact than just questing and killing monsters and things of that nature. I think, from what I played, it seems like I get early access, but it seems like the players themselves have more of a boast, or more not a boast, but more of an impact in the world than you normally would see in another game. With Shroud of the Avatar is a part of another list of games, kind of like in the same vein as Albion Online. Even though they're different in style, they're essentially the same thing where you go around. It's open world sandbox. Well, not really for Albion, but the point being is it's a game that's heavily based on the players' actions as far as what they are willing to do, like harvest materials, fight off players, do quests, whatever fits your fancy. So it's interesting to see how this game develops. I thought the art style was actually kind of shitty. I was like, I don't like it, but it turned out to be a pretty unique looking world. I mean, excuse me, late night. Sorry about that, that's rude. But the world looked fantastic. Actually, I'm looking at some of the pictures on their website. For early access, it looks great. I'm not saying it's the most graphically astounding game, but it's nothing to shake a stick at. It's pretty good, especially with all the different concepts and size, like the quest systems. What's unique, and I will do though when I did Let's Play, is there's no voice acting that I know of, and maybe that'll change as they progress through the stages of early access. But what seems to be really amazing is you'll let's say you're talking to somebody, right, and he has a quest for you, and you say, and he tells you, my name is, I'll use me for example. My name is Sean, my daughter's went missing, and I'm attacked by bandits. You know how normally you click like a little sentence or something that says press this, different options, and the game starts talking for you. What's cool is in the paragraph that the NPC is talking to you in, you can click a certain word, and that word will open up a different dialogue with that NPC. While some can open up more information, while others can start a quest, while some can allow you to turn in your quest items. So what's cool is they know that they don't have voice acting, and I don't know if it's what they're going to add at the end. I got to check their updates and stuff. But as right now, it's like they know they don't have voice acting, and they know they're not going to use it. So what they do is they allow more of a hands-on approach with players when it comes to interacting with NPCs as far as dialogue, which I thought was pretty creative. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. I think I've seen it once, and I don't know the game I've seen it in. But and honestly, I don't think I might have the wrong idea. But this is the only game that I know of currently in the market of MMOs that allows you that kind of interaction with the NPCs. So it's not like, I've got robbed. Click, yes, I'll protect you, get your stuff back. 2, I don't want to help you. No, it's, you got to kind of pick the right words, learn the dialogue, and then it opens up a chat box between you and the NPC, and certain words you could type with your actual keyboard, like yes, no, your name, stuff like that, and it will either remember that or it will respond back. So it's very intricate, and I like that. It keeps you where they have a weakness. What I like with the company is where they found they have their weaknesses, they've added something else to give it some sort of strength. It's not a perfect game, but this, along with Ashes of Creation, these two right here are going to change the landscape to some degree or more, and I like to see it. So I really suggest, if you guys haven't already, give this game a check. If you're watching this on VidMe and YouTube, I'll gladly put a link in the description below for you guys to check it out. Like I said, it's created by Portalarium. Let me give you a little taste. So, it has Shroud. Okay, so here we go. What does it have? So, episodic content. Shroud of Avatar will consist of 5 episodes that will tell a series of virtue-based stories created by Richard Garrett and Tracy Hickman, all supported by serious prequel novels starting with The Blade of the Avatar. So, it seems like it's based off of... Oh, here's something. So, talking about the single player on offline mode. Players will adventure through over 40 hours of story in an interactive world where their choices have consequences. Ethical paradoxes give them pause, and they play a vital part of weaving their own story into an immersive world and lore surrounding them. Selective multiplayer mode. If you want to go through the story online, you can play with everyone in 3 different online modes. Single player, friends only, and open. A classless character system. Vast customization options with hundreds of skills and spells and over 20 different skill trees. Skillful combat. A new way to prepare and fight in an RPG, building custom decks of skills and dynamically activating them in combat. PvP. Consensual with open PvP, flag zones, and guild warfare. Player housing. Non-instant, finite, and embedded in the world with group living options. Player-driven economy. Deep crafting system where the best items are made by players, and player items are the main source of loot around in the game. So there you go. I was saying before, it's more of a hands-on approach. Pay once to play. No subscription fees. Each episode is a one-time fee, and everything in the game can be purchased with a game gold that can be earned except for some exclusive backer rewards. It's weird. This game is weird to me in the sense that I can't tell if it's been classified as an MMO, I think, by some group outlets. I don't think it is. I think it's I'll say it's a co-op RPG. That's like Borderlands, but not like Borderlands limited. You go jump in and jump out. You couldn't kill your team. Well, you could if you're a dick, but to kill your teammates. In this case, I don't think it does. Well, this is what they said. Shroud of Avatar: Forsaken Virtues is a new type of third-person fantasy RPG that combines a single-player narrative with the sandbox MMO. It's recreated by a team that includes Richard Lord British Garrett, the creator of the Ultima series, Thar Long, the original director of the Ultima Online, and Tracy Hickman, the author of the beloved Dragonlance novels and Dungeons & Dragons modules. I mean, these are some pretty fantastic people working on this. Like I said, I still have to, kind of flush it out and try it out myself and do some more little background checks on this, but it's a very unique concept. One that I honestly don't know. I know Light and Dark, I think it is? Let me check Steam real quick. Steam has a game that came out in early access called Light and Dark. It has essentially the same kind of concept. Single player and a multiplayer kind of campaign where you can interact with people in a sort of, well, think of it like this: if you ever play Red Dead or GTA and you're with your group or your posse or whatever, and you want to, and I know Red Dead is a flashback, but you want to play with other players, then you click to online. But if you want to play by yourself or select a group of friends, you can limit the server to allowing whoever you want to join at your discretion. It's kind of like the same thing, but on a much grander scale, because in this case, it has more of the RPG, MMO elements of it, but it also has those little finite twists where you can customize and build your own bases and stuff like that. So it's kind of... Alright, hold on. Light and dark. So it's kind of unique in that sense. Do I think it'll do good? I have no idea. Dark and Light, there it is. So, Dark and Light is a vast sandbox RPG set in a world dominated by powerful elemental forces. You find ways in a meticulous crafted world. Alright, so this is the funny part. If you go online and look at what Dark and Light, and I'm not saying the two are the same in any way, shape, or form, but if far as being confused, Dark and Light, this is what Dark and Light is classified as. Single player, multiplayer, online multiplayer, local multiplayer, online co-op, and local co-op. Fucking confusing. It's nuts. I mean, it's a beautiful looking game, but I don't know, like what essentially is these two games, because these two games are very unique in the sense of never have seen it's a sandbox RPG, but it's kind of a locked one, you know, whereas Shroud of Avatar swears that it's an MMO kind of sandbox where you can play with your friends and stuff like that. The thing is cool. The thing that is cool is that I can see a lot of players playing both of these and getting lost and having fun and traversing the world. But I can also see that the unique capability of the single player, because it allows players the freedom of being by themselves. Because I know quite a lot of people that would like to play by themselves and not be hunkered down by the restrictions of an MMO. So this might actually kind of scratch that itch a lot of people have when kind of locked in that world of being restricted by MMORPGs. So I don't know. Well, that's it. That's about 17 minutes of my life and me rambling on. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Game Flunky signing off. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below for both Dark and Light and Shroud of the Avatar, The Forsaken. If you guys like to play either of them, go ahead. Like I said, well, Dark and Light you can't actually. I'm sorry about that, because it's not out of production or whatever they're doing. It's on Steam and you can look at it and check up on it, but you cannot play it. It's not in early access. Though Shroud of the Avatar is though. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below for that one. Well, I'll leave a link in the description for the other one too, so you can research it. Whatever. All right, guys. Talk to you later.